Welcome to Modern Marriage, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're gonna talk about another letter I received. It's from Reddit. It's about relationship, and right now I'm gonna say hi to the CAR woman, the Christian woman, the appealing woman, and the R, which is for realistic woman. C is a Christian, that's mean you're spiritual, you love God, you're closer to God. A is for appealing, you're looking good, watch your weight, exercise, and then R if you're realistic about your standard and then life and then taking logically and then stuff like that. So now let's see what they said. Between 2015 2018, I was in a relationship with a man who cheated on mine constantly. So basically that's right there is a red flag, because what happened is women think they can change men, especially bad men. That's why Pookie and Ray Ray always strive, because they believe that women believe that they can change those men, and it doesn't feel the CAR, which is realistic. Once a cheater, always a cheater. So right out the bat, they are already disqualified. I kept taking him back because we were both heavily involved in the church. I'm no longer Christian though. There we go. That's the phrase I was looking for. Involved in the church doesn't mean you're a Christian. Christian mean your fear of God. Fear of God means you care about God. You seek His face. You seek His presence. And now you say you're no longer a Christian. That means the C part already now out. The Christian part out. The probably now left the appealing if she's good looking. The R is out because she's not been rationalized about her thought. Because if a guy keep cheating on you and then you keep taking him back, that's a red flag for you to leave that person and never look back up. But since you're heavily involved, that means there is some bedroom fun involved. So if there was a bedroom fun involved, so most likely it's harder for the woman to give up, since her bond is already bonded to him. So basically she gonna have a hard time leaving that man, especially if the guy has an option to have a lot of women. She feel like she's entitled to that woman, she can change him, and women always want a man that's all the women want. So that's the scenario of that, which is not realistic, which is not supposed to be a realistic standard for women. And there was a lot of shame I wanted to avoid. We eventually broke up in 2018 after we both kind of just get tired of the constant disagreement, differences in opinion and thinking. So basically, they're not thinking rationalized. So basically, they're not realistic. They always have a fight between back and forth. Women love arguing, and they love fighting. That's where they catch up feeling, because they feel like if they fight for that man, they deserve that man, so they're entitled to that man. But in reality is that it's a man doesn't want you to have to do anything. The man will do what they gotta do to protect you. Let's keep reading. My dad, 59, is a cheater. He has been cheating on my mom my entire life, and my parents always fought, argued, told us about the marital issue in front of us, so we knew a lot about it. So that's a part of the family of older age. If your dad and your mom having argument, the kids should not be aware, because what happens is he take a heavy mental on that kid, because that kid now is mentally scared, for example, of relationship, scared of commitment, and scared of love. And that when that person go up to be an adult, that person gonna have to chase down either the guy that's look like his father, or the girl that's look like his mom, or they can be either way. So basically the relationship feel already insecure. She always looking for assumption about the relationship, about other guy. For example, even though if the guy is faithful, she on the other hand gonna look for a fight for the other guy, because she believe that his father was a cheater, so every man is a cheater. Currently, my mom hasn't talked to my dad since September last year, after someone contacted her and told her that my dad has been sleeping with his wife. So guys, please, if you have option, please guys, protect yourself. If you see a woman, she's married, leave her alone, because what happen is everyone gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt, the person that's been involved relationship gonna get hurt, and your family gonna get hurt. Stay away from those married women. And that's why, since she always said they're not Christian anymore, that's mean that anything is possible. She can have one night stand, she can have a fling, she can, now the point is he's having an affair, and it can be either way. So that's why I said the C is the most important, is all the Christian part. So basically, if you're not Christian, seek for Christ, because by the time you go to a relationship, you won't be able to fight it, because the Christianity is not a joke, and the devils are here to destroy and conquer. So you're gonna destroy your family, your mindset, and especially if the family doesn't have any structure, where the father is not protecting himself, or they not protect the family. And I blame both the parents, because they don't, those situations never tell about your kids, because what happened is you should be able to protect your kids to make sure like everything's okay. But the dad messed up, because he's not supposed to have a relationship. I imagine he was in church, and I think at this point the dad is not in church anymore. This person somehow got access to my dad's phone and shared evidence with my mom about the affair, and it was discovered that my dad was involved with several other women, explicit texts and picture messages about having sex, etc. So basically, guys, like I said, once a cheater, always a cheater. And guys, if a woman, for example, is in a relationship and she's doing what she gotta do, and then you betray that trust by going out there, and then you know in your mind you're not ready to settle, don't settle, don't get married, have fun, and then set your mind, because what happened, you destroy that other person's life. You wasting her time. She could have been another person and be happy. But again, women love those strive, those feelings for the guy to fight for that relationship. That's another thing. That's why they stay on the relationship when the person cheat. And that's the evidence. Some of whom were really young, like me and my sister, age between 22 and 28. My mom confided in us because she's too embarrassed to tell people outside the family or other huge issue. Anyway, point is that she's always shared with us and great to tell about my dad cheating. So that's the past. That's the part about a woman. Don't share those things about your kids. That's why you got your girlfriend for. That's why you got counselor for. That's why you get a pastor for, involved to protect the kids, for the sake of the kids, because the kids supposed to worry about the school and worry about the video games and about their food. That said, they're not supposed to worry about the adult going on issue, and that's what happened. And the mother is wrong telling them about that, and the dad is wrong by going out there and achieve and spread his seed, because that is wrong. I know at a certain age a guy can attract a lot of women because he's become more mature, and especially if he's have money, he's stable, a lot of women gonna after him. Now let's go back what they say. My husband, 31, male and father of my 2 years old, has always been transparent with me and has never been giving me a reason to doubt his faithfulness to me. So she never said when she met her husband, between the time she broke up with the ex-boyfriend, or she probably married the cheater guy. So she never gave an example. She never said how long she been knowing the guy before getting married, and there's a lot unknown the story. So but let's go along with what she said. I never felt disrespected by him or seen anything suspicious on his phone or anything. He reminds me that he's committed to me. So basically, like I said, a good husband gonna commit to his wife. He's gonna be able to provide, protect, and proceed whatever the girl need. So and procreate. And basically, if the woman feel like secure enough, she feel like she gonna be good. And I don't think is an issue there. But again, since she has a past relationship, the past history of having men that is cheat, and she probably always gonna have a red flag that everyone's a cheater. But at 26, female, she just can't shake the fear of being cheated on of. Does anyone have any evidence on how to do it? This, and I'm already in therapy, but never talk about this to my therapist. Will it wear off with time? If you cannot talk about it, you cannot find a solution. One or three reasons. You can either go, if you're a Christian, you can go to prayer and God for the guidance, and then with the Bible, God gonna talk about that, send you prayer and intervention and revelation and vision about that. And if two, you can go talk about that by a friend. If you have a friend, they can have an idea what to do, especially elderly. You can have, if they have a long relationship, and talk to your mom, because your mom is in the situation. Tell your mom what's going on, and she probably tell you what's gonna happen. Or the last one, you can probably talk about a therapy. And since you went to therapy, you never talk about how can you fix this issue if you never talk about. And a woman has a tendency to talk about that, something that's bother them. If you don't think about to bother that thing, if you don't talk about it, that means it doesn't bother you. If it doesn't bother you, so that's why you're holding on, and the pressure for holding that and can build up to a lot of frustration and anger, and then mistrust, and then misguidance, and then you become bitter since your past already hurt, so you're gonna be more hurtful by the other time. My past experience made me think that eventually he will cheat on me too, because that's what I've been in my life, and it's making me so sad. So basically, since you have that past story of being neglected, since you have passed that story of being neglected, for example, you think that if he doesn't have a reason to cheat, so you won't be able to cheat, so he's not a good man. So that's an issue, because what's going on is that not every guy cheat, especially the Christian guy. So like you say, you're not a Christian anymore, that's mean you turn away from God. So like you got to look for the C part. The R part is that the realistic part, that's mean that he probably cheat and he's good at cover it, or probably is not. And other realistic is that if you don't have any evidence that he is, don't assume that, because what happens is, if you assume that, you're gonna be bitter against him, you're gonna disrespect him, and then you're gonna have feeling holding for him. Since you do that, so basically it's gonna be an issue. So I will advise you, don't do that. Talk about it. That's the first step. If you talk about it, he will be able to respond to it. But if you don't talk about it, it's gonna be a big issue, because later on you're gonna have a feeling mismatch, and then once you're unhappy, he's gonna see that, you're gonna feel that your love language gonna stop, your language, your verbal, your physical gonna change, and next thing you know, you set up your same disaster as your parent has. I would tell you that to talk with them, and if he's a Christian, pray with him. And most of the women those days, they don't pray for the husband, they don't pray with the husband, and they don't pray together. So that's a big respect for the C woman, the Christian woman, not the one that's go to church, not the one that has a born version again, but the one that's really care about God, the one that's seeking his face, the one that's really love God. And guys, if you like my video, give me a thumbs up, share it, and guys, I will be gladly. And there was marriage together, and I see you